Okay, we are live. Hugo, Stacy, how you doing?
Hello, how you
Good.
how you doing, Mike?
Awesome. So, you guys own District Dance and or District Dance Academy in Tampa. Well, really, Largo, Florida. So, Hugo, why don't you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about what you guys do?
Great. So we own a studio in the Tampa Bay, Florida area, and here at this facility we have an 11,000 square foot studio, and so we do a lot of things within this space. We do dancing primarily, West Coast swing, salsa, every style you can do, solo styles, partnered styles, things like that. But also because of our facility, we also kind of have a side business with this as well, running events. And so we rent the studio for weddings, receptions, meetings, things like that. And we also have some new projects that we are, I think the biggest thing about owning a studio is utilizing the time, since you're paying. We right now we're renting in a really popular area, and so we're trying to utilize the space and time as much as we can. And so we'll be talking a little bit later about some of those projects that are coming up.
Awesome. So, the reason we're doing these interviews is because I'm trying to find out if there's some common threads between, businesses, because everybody's been affected by this COVID-19 pandemic that has shut down, all non-essential businesses. And I'm assuming that dancing is non-essential.
Yeah, unfortunately for the government.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They chose not to be dancers.
Yes.
Their loss.
Yes. Yeah, so we've definitely been heavily affected, but I think one of the greatest things about going through, and this happens in dance, this happens in anything creative, but sometimes when we're put into a box, we're forced to be creative, and I'm excited about some of the new things that we've done. That once things get back to normal, it'll just increase what we were doing before. It gave us the time to focus on things that we would have never been able to do unless this happened.
Well, speaking of time, I mean, you guys are national level, it should say international traveling dance professionals. And I know because
Stop it.
but you guys are used to traveling.
Yep.
And, like I said, you've got a lot more time in your hands because you're not in an airport every single weekend. So, I mean, how has that really affected, some of the different projects that you've started over the last 30 days?
Oh, well, it's definitely, like you said, given us a lot of time, which for us makes us more creative. So we've dived into a lot of different projects. I think something that everybody's dived into recently is TikTok. So we've fell down the rabbit hole of TikTok, which has been really cool for our business. Not only just, introducing our favorite dances to the world, but also just showing them an easy platform for them to be able to learn. So that's been really nice. We've also been creating an online dance tutorial website, which is a huge kind of never-ending project. But we've been wanting to do it for so many years. Like you said, we've just never had the time. It's always in an airport, and that's not a good place to shoot a tutorial. So this has really given us time where the studio is absolutely silent, and we can really get to work on some of these things.
That's incredible. So, talking about the studio, I know you have a lot of other instructors. Are they employees? And did they get furloughed like everybody else?
Actually, with our studio in particular, they're kind of like independent contractors. So they come in, they do their classes and things like that. We have some employees within them as well. But within this COVID, it's affected everybody. Unfortunately, since about mid-March, we had to close down the studio. And so, I think some of the hardest things is the biggest thing about this COVID is like the social distancing, being apart at a certain distance, and I think that's the hardest part. People don't want to go into a facility where it's all about dancing, touching, interacting with other people. And so, within these employees, I've had to lay off, some people. I've had to, shift their work in a different way. I think not only for my family, but also the families that we support within our business as well, that we had to kind of innovate in a way that, how can we make these other people money as well? How can we take advantage of, some of that everybody is home by doing some new online material? So we were definitely heavily affected, but, I feel like the team that we have, not only us, but our team dance professionals kind of stepped up into, you know, creating video content and things like that. So even though we were affected again, you know, for us, you know, as business owners, you know, when the market shifts, it shifts, and you have no ability to, you don't have the time to think about, you know, oh no, and weep about it. So you can only shift your business and what we could do, and we're excited about what we did.
Are your other dance instructors, are they also doing, you know, the Instagram stuff and the TikTok stuff and all that?
Oh yeah. Some of them are. You know, I think every instructor has their own priorities of what they need within this time. Some of these guys they travel a lot and they need time to be home. So, you know, having time away from it has actually been very beneficial for their creative process as dancers. Some of them have had to hone in on business practices that they never get to do. Things like that. So, you know, I think they've had to innovate a lot as well. Yeah,
right.
I'm really excited about what they've put together.
Wow. So
yeah, just recently we did our first virtual dance event as a studio, where we had all of our instructors come in and they got to experience what a virtual class was like. For some of them, they've done it before, but for many of them, it was their first virtual class. So that was a really neat experience, I think, to do as a team, and introduce them to, and now they're kind of taking it along and creating their own weekly classes. So it's been a growing experience, but it's been cool to do together.
But we've definitely seen our instructors jumping into TikTok as well, exploring these new avenues. Yeah, I think, you know, again, as a company, if you don't push the people around you to innovate as well, then, you know, it's going to fall apart. So, yeah, the team has been killing it.
Well, let me ask you a question. I mean, it's easy to do, you know, an interview like this where it's me and you two, you know, on one camera, but how do you do multiple instructors? Did you have like one camera and a whole crowd of people, or did you take turns one at a time?
You know, in terms of like the training, speaking with them, you know, I honestly, we could have done stuff like that, you know, but I think what we've been mainly doing is creating some videos personally of, you know, instead of speaking to them, most of the time we ended up, you know, either calling them personally to ask them questions about it. But most of the time what Stacy and I were doing to pass on a lot of this information is recording ourselves, you know, letting them know what our processes were, sharing that with them, using different avenues like Google Classroom, things like, what's this app that we're using right now, the phone app?
Zoom?
No, the organizational one with tabs.
Trello?
Oh, Trello. That's something that we were using as well to pass on information to, you know, the team along the way.
Wow. So again, just using more and more online tools to make things more efficient.
Yeah.
Do you see that going forward when you guys start traveling again? You're going to be still using those things to, you know, because that's not location specific.
Yeah, I think that we're definitely going to take these new tools, and obviously, you know, it's a new revenue for our business, or a new organizational method for our business, or whatever it might be that we've discovered during this time. But all new things are just going to help our business. So we're definitely going to continue using all these new things and doing these new programs that we've created, even when things do go back to normal.
Right. So because, I mean, eventually this thing's going to end and you're going to start traveling, you know, every weekend and, you know, going international. I can see you're excited. But how do you think that these new tools will help you connect with your international fans? The people that aren't in the United States that don't get to see you, but what, once a year?
Yeah, I think, you know, one of the things that we came into this, you know, pandemic with is how can we utilize the things that we were doing before and still make them happen, but, you know, online. And so, you know, what you were just talking about with the international events, we travel a lot internationally, and within this, we've had to cancel over probably 20 plus weekends that we've had to cancel, a lot of them being international. But I think what we've been doing, and everybody's been loving it, especially because they get a better view, is having online classes, online workshops, intensives, and actually doing it online through Zoom. With, like, for example, we recently taught an intensive in Norway.
Norway.
Yep, Norway, and we did it from the comforts of the studio. And so it's incredible to be at home and still instructing on a weekly basis a set of people. You know, sometimes these events, And again, these when we're traveling, there's a lot of things that happen. Sometimes it'll be weekend classes. Sometimes it'll be intensives at these places where it's, you know, a certain weekend. Sometimes it's events where people come from different cities and states and countries to be able to go to certain places. And so sometimes we've had a workshop of over 500 people in the room. And so it's really hard to get, you know, a close enough view. And I think, you know, through the innovations that we're pushing right now through Zoom, we've had a lot. I think one of our recent workshops had about maybe 80 people. And within that, we could see everybody. They could ask questions within the chat. We could move ourselves into positions that they could really see us in a perspective that they would never be able to out actually in these countries. So it's actually, you know, increased their excitement for some of this new content. And I think that once we go back to normal, they're still going to be hungry for that. Even when we go teach over there, they're going to be hungry to, you know, get that different perspective from the videos.
Now, as you know, I'm also a West Coast swing dancer, and of course, you guys are my instructors. But the thing I know that is one of the biggest pet peeves, and when people are talking when you're teaching, how much has that changed because people can't talk?
No, it's amazing. It's amazing because, you know, we get to actually, I feel more like a coach. You know, what we're really passionate about is coaching students a little bit more than just, you know, teaching them along the way. And so I think and sometimes that means, you know, coaching them along the way a little bit more, you know, in the now corrections. And I think, you know, one of the best parts about this is I get to see them all in the screen at a closer view as well. And I can say, you know, and obviously it says their name along the way. So I'll say, hey, this person, you know, fix this left shoulder along the way. Hey, this person, you're facing this other direction. You know, I want you to face the corner of the screen. This is the direction I want you to move, or, you know, rotate your foot this way. You know, I think what's really great is I get to actually coach them in a lot more detailed way through these interactions.
Oh, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. Wow. So that being said, I kind of want to wrap this up because I know we're all pretty busy, but do you have any kind of thoughts about, you know, ideas that you have going forward of how, once we get back to normal, how we integrate all these things so that people can come find you? And I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe you can tell the viewers, you know, your Instagram or Facebook and, you know, all your social media. How do people find you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have a million places that you can find us. So definitely get out your pen and paper right now. If you want to find us on Instagram, you can do that at districtdanceacademy.com. You can find us on TikTok at districtdancers.com. I guess not .com. That's a handle, not a website. Our websites would be districtdanceacademy.com. If you want to find our online dance tutorial library that we were mentioning earlier, that's districtdancers.com. So lots of places that you can come and connect with us. Of course, we're on Facebook as well. Just type in our names, Hugo Miguez, Stacy K, or again, the studio name, District Dance Academy, and we'll pop right up.
Yeah, we have a ton of different things that we're releasing right now. If you're interested in any type of dance, solo dance, partner dancing, things like that, check out so many of our new projects at districtdancer.com.
Speaking of that, what are you currently offering? You've got West Coast Swing.
We've got West Coast Swing. We've got Lindy Hop, which is another style of swing. We also have really soon salsa. We have hip hop, which is a super popular solo dance style. We have some drills, not only in just West Coast Swing, but also dance as a whole. You know, because our studio does so many different styles of dancing, we tend to push a lot of things of how can this help your dancer as a whole? What are the characteristics of each dance? And what we've taken a lot of time for within these this instructionals is distinguishing the differences, but also showing some of the overlapping qualities. And really just check in there incrementally to districtdancer.com because we're going to be adding continuous material, move of the weeks, specific intensives on balances, variety, things like performance ways. There's a lot of ways, even as different types of performers. So whether you're looking to be a dancer, a performer, or looking to work out a little bit along the way, District Dancer is definitely the place to go.
Awesome. Hey guys, this has been a great interview. You got any last thoughts?
No, thank you so much for having us come on here, Mike. We thank you for helping us along the way, even though they know along the way that you are our student in dance. If anything, you are a little an idea of our mentor when it comes to our business practices. So a lot of even these innovations that we have, we attest to Mike giving us some of these ideas along the way.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate the shout out, man.
Yep.
Take care, guys.
Take care, Mike. See you next time.